Here are the most recent deaths in the national news, as reported at Legacy.com in the first week of May 2025. Legacy.com is where you can find any obituary or publish an obituary in any local community in America and beyond. Reality TV personality Kirk Medas died May 2, 2025 at a Miami hospital. He died of liver failure at the age of 33. He was one of the stars of the MTV reality show Floribama Shore for all 4 of its seasons. Medas is being remembered as the peacemaker of the group of young people living in a beach house in Florida's Panhandle. Actor Charley Scalies died May 1, 2025 at a nursing facility in Phoenixville, Pennsylvania. He died of Alzheimer's disease at the age of 84. He starred as Thomas Horseface Pacusa in the 2nd season of The Wire. Scalies is also being remembered for a standout guest appearance on The Sopranos as Coach Molinaro. Actress and comedian Ruth Buzzi died May 1, 2025 at her home in Stephenville, Texas. She died in her sleep at the age of 88. She was an original cast member of Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In and the only player to appear in every episode of the show. Her spinster character, Gladys Ormsby, was a fan favorite. Buzzi is also being remembered as a Sesame Street regular in the 1990s and for her voice work on cartoons like Alvin and the Chipmunks and the Berenstain Bears. Golfer Jim Dent died May 2, 2025 in Augusta, Georgia. He died after a stroke at the age of 85. He was a PGA Tour member, especially known for his years of dominance on the Senior Tour. Dent is being remembered as a pioneer who grew up caddying at the Augusta Country Club before black players were allowed there, before rising to PGA success. Musician Joe Louis Walker died April 30, 2025 at a hospital in Poughkeepsie, New York. He died of a cardiac-related illness at the age of 75. He was a blues guitarist who played with greats like Bonnie Raitt, Buddy Guy, and Taj Mahal. Walker is being remembered as a Blues Hall of Famer who blended classic sounds with innovative new techniques. Racing driver Jochen Mass died May 4, 2025 in Cannes, France. He died of complications from a stroke at the age of 78. He was a Formula One racing great who won the 1975 Spanish Grand Prix and later became a commentator. Mass is being remembered for winning the legendary 24 Hours of Le Mans endurance race in 1989. Here at Legacy, we also get to see all the incredible tribute stories published every day in memory of people you've never heard of before, but whose lives are so worth remembering. This week, those people include a beloved wife, mother, and painter whose favorite memories included going for walks past Paul McCartney's home in London, a lifelong runner from Michigan who went on to serve his country in the United States Air Force, a distinguished educator who served as Dean of Nursing at several American universities, and a respected historian and journalist whose wide-ranging knowledge led to his nickname, the Walking Encyclopedia. At Legacy.com, any family can publish an obituary in honor of a loved one's memory, online and in local newspapers everywhere. Just visit Legacy.com and select your local community. This month in the United States is Memorial Day. In honor of America's veterans, we at Legacy salute our charity partner, the Doughboy Foundation, dedicated to honoring the memory of those who served in World War I. Every day, without fail, a bugle honors those brave Americans by playing taps at the National World War I Memorial in Washington, D.C. You can personally dedicate that bugle call in the name of a veteran you love by visiting doughboy.org. That's DOUGHBOY.org. Also, any of our viewers can help support the Doughboy Foundation with a charitable donation of any size. Just visit doughboy.org to donate. Every week in the United States, flags are lowered to half-staff to honor the lives of Americans whose communities are mourning their loss. Here are the most recent half-staff memorial flag honors. Flags across the United States have been lowered in honor of National Fallen Firefighters Memorial Weekend. Flags in South Dakota have been lowered in honor of Peace Officers Memorial Day. Flags in Maryland have been lowered in honor of Fallen Heroes Day. Flags in Maryland have also been lowered to honor the memory of Petty Officer First Class Dakota Brown Collison of the United States Navy. Flags in Michigan have been lowered to honor the memory of Army Staff Sergeant Troy S. Knutson Collins. Flags in Indiana have been lowered to honor the memory of Wayne County firefighter and EMT Scott Lee Adams, who died in the line of duty. Flags in Missouri have been lowered to honor the memory of Kansas City Fire Department firefighter-paramedic Graham Hoffman, who died in the line of duty. Flags in South Carolina have been lowered to honor the memory of former State Representative Reverend Kenneth F. Hodges. Flags in Washington have been lowered to honor the memory of former Supreme Court Justice Susan Owens. Flags in Hawaii have been lowered to honor the memory of Prince David Kawananakoa. Flags in Ohio have been lowered to honor the memory of Hamilton County Sheriff's Deputy Larry Henderson, who died in the line of duty. Flags in Kentucky have been lowered to honor the memory of U.S. Army Private First Class Kenneth D. Burgess, who was reported missing in action while fighting in Italy during World War II. His remains were recently identified and returned home for burial. In addition to featuring current deaths in the news, Legacy.com also honors the lives and legacies of notable people who died in the past. Here are some of this week's anniversaries. 5 years ago this week, musician and songwriter Little Richard died at the age of 87. He was a rock and roll pioneer known for classic hits like Tutti Frutti and Long Tall Sally. 15 years ago this week, singer and actress Lena Horne died at the age of 92. She was a trailblazer who starred in such movies as Cabin in the Sky and had memorable hit singles like Stormy Weather. 50 years ago this week, comedian and actor Moe Howard died at the age of 77. He was one of the Three Stooges for the slapstick comedy group's entire run of almost 50 years, longer than any other member. Actor and singer Ricky Nelson was born 85 years ago this week. He died in December 1985 at the age of 45. After starring with his family on TV in The Adventures of Ozzie and Harriet, he had a musical career with hits like Poor Little Fool and Garden Party. You can read more about the lives of the people featured in this video on Legacy.com. Follow Legacy.com on Instagram and Facebook, and subscribe to our channel on YouTube to stay up to date on national news deaths.